I start with the first one นะครับ the first one okay this value is 1 นะครับ this value is 1 the next one is 250,000 the next one 500,000 next one is 1 million next one is 2 million next one is 5 million okay and the rest is above so I just like put the number line like this first นะครับ so that we can understand more นะครับ how do we gonna set up the flow chart so in here นะครับ from 1 to 250,000 that means we include 1 and we include 250,000ครับ I put them together like this and I draw a line okay this is the first range we give 1% นะครับ I'll put 1% in here after that นะครับ for the second range 250,001 this one means that we exclude 250,000 นะครับ use this to 500,000 for 500,000 I include 500,000 into this number line okay anyone in this range will receive 2% after that the third range 500,001 to 1 million I will exclude 500,000 นะครับ so that it works easily to 1 million include 1 million here get 2.5% next 1 million and $1 $1 million and $1 to 2 million but I include 2 million but I exclude 1 million in here you get 2.75% from 2 million and 1 นะครับ to 5 million I do the same thing this person will receive 3% and lastly นะครับ greater than 5 million greater than 5 million means that we exclude 5 million in here and above we receive 3.5% Okay, so this is number line that we will use in order to judge for the flowchart. The basic idea for doing the flowchart for nested if is that you can do นะครับ from lowest amount to the higher one. That means like from $1 and more นะครับ that might be one way, or the other way somebody may say that they do backward. They do like more than 5 million down to 1 นะครับ that means from the last rate นะครับ the highest rate to the lower rate, or somebody start from the lower rate to higher rate นะครับ it depends, but in this one นะครับ I just use the rule of thumb. I start from the lowest amount to the higher to lower from lower amount to higher amount นะครับ to grant the commission rate for the salesperson. In this one ครับ let me just like create a new slide in here. I start from the lowest rate first. Okay, the flowchart that I use is here. Okay. In here, I'll just like use the what to say, the notation นะครับ just the name only, and then I'll just like change to be the sale later on นะครับ Okay, I judge the first rate first นะครับ How to start? We go to see the rate. The first rate here นะครับ is from $1 นะครับ to 250,000. We include both values in here, both 1 and both 250,000. In here, I said that okay, do like this. I compare the sales amount with 1. I say that if the sales amount is greater than 1 นะครับ I will just like have to check first นะครับ whether the sales amount is greater than or equals to 250,000 or not. Okay, so it's like this. Okay. So I put T or F means true or false นะครับ or you can put like Y or N, that means yes or no. If the sales amount is greater than or equals to 1 นะครับ, that means go to this direction นะครับ and then we say that we compare with 250,000 นะครับ compare with 250,000 if นะครับ if it's greater than 250,000 you have to keep on checking, but otherwise นะครับ but otherwise what are we going to do? We will say that okay, this one 1%. So let's see. Why do I judge that I have to put greater than 250,000? Because in here, you have to know that if it's no, if it's no, you have to understand this symbol. If it's not, or if it's not greater than or greater than 250,000, that means it's less than or equals to 250,000. What does it mean? It means it cover, it will cover this one. So you can see that in here, in here. In here, when it covers from $1 to 250,000 goes to this part com rate is 1%. Otherwise, if it's greater than 250,000, that means it goes to this part it goes to this part already, greater than 250,000, and then you have to do the same thing. The next one is that you also have to check whether it's greater than 500,000 or not. If yes, you go on checking. Let me just do this one first. In this one, I have to check if the sales amount is greater than $50,000 or not, so that I can just checking. But otherwise, if it's not greater than 500,000, it means that it's less than or equals to 500,000. That means it will cover this second range. It will cover this second range. Okay, just one below. Okay, it will cover the second range. Okay, so after that, if it covers the second range, okay, let me just put same thing like this. If it's not, that means it goes to the second range. The commission rate goes to 2%. Otherwise, if it's not less than or equals to 500,000, you have to still go on checking for the third range. When you have to go on checking, you compare with 1 million. If it's less than or equals to 1 million, it falls down into this rate, that is 2.5%. Then I just compare it once again with the next value. I compare this one with 1 million. If it's not greater than 1 million, it means that it falls into this range because it's less than or equals to 1 million. It goes to 2.5%. Okay, so in this one, we do this. Now let's go to 2.5%. But if the sales amount is more than 1 million, you have to keep on checking. whether this value is greater than 2 million or not. If it's not greater than 2 million, it falls into this fourth rate นะครับ 2.75% in here. So in this one นะครับ I have to check again with $2 million. If it's not greater than 2 million, it falls into this rate that is 2.75%. Otherwise, if it's greater than $2 million, you still have to go on checking นะครับ It's almost done. It's too late left. It's too late left. In here, you have to check with 5 millions นะครับ Okay. Now you check with 5 million. Now, when we check with 5 millions, it has just one rate left. If it's greater than 5 million นะครับ the white dot is greater than because it's exclude 5 million and it's go to the right hand side. Now, it's the last rate already. The last rate here นะครับ it's yes. The rate goes to 3.5%. Otherwise, it goes to this rate 3% นะครับ It's here. And then we have just one branch left. If sales amount is not นะครับ greater than or equals to 1, what are we going to do? This one, it doesn't state anything. That means this person doesn't receive any commission at all. So the commission rate should be 0 in here. Then I just put 0 in here for this one. And after that, we just like put them together and then we can stop this flow chart now. Now we can stop Okay, so this is the flow chart นะครับ for the nested if. You can see that it's more complicated than the basic if that we have because we have many commission rate to be judged. So when you have the what to say flow chart like this already, what are we going to do next? The next thing is that we can change to be if function in Microsoft Excel, and it will be very easy if you have this flow chart already. Okay, so how do we gonna do? How do we gonna change it into the if function in here? So you have to justify first what are the value that you have to judge. In this one, we will judge the sales amount with the commission rate that we have นะครับ For example, for James sales amount นะครับ it is located in H33 นะครับ I will just like put H33 to represent the sales amount. In here, I go back to this one นะครับ to this slide นะครับ and I will replace sales amount with H33 in if function. So the if function will work like this. Firstly นะครับ when you type the if function, you start from the top decision making one that is here นะครับ I say that if H33 นะครับ is greater than or equals to 1 นะครับ if yes นะครับ value if yes, we check again if H33 is greater than 250,000 นะครับ value if true, we go on checking if H33 is greater than if H33 is greater than 500,000 comma value if true, we check again H33 is greater than 1 million. If true, you check again if H33 is greater than 2 million. If true, you check again with the last one if H33 is greater than 5 million. So in this one, you may just like push them into another level. This is all the Y branch. If true, we go to Y branch for all of them. Now, okay, what are we going to do? We finish until the last branch of checking already. Then we start filling up the value if true and value if false of each. The last one นะครับ we said that if sales amount is greater than 5 million, value if true is 3.5%. You put 3.5% and then close parenthesis นะครับ this is the true branch นะครับ of this comma we go to the false branch นะครับ we go to the false branch. If sales amount is greater than 5 million, value if true is 3.5, value if false is 3%, comma 3%. Now we can close this branch already. After that, you can see that this one นะครับ okay, this one is the true part of this amount of 2 million value if false is 2.75%. In this one, it covers until this part already. We close parenthesis. After that, now we just like try to close the if condition of 1 million. The if condition of 1 million here, value if false is 2.5. You put 2.5% and then close the parenthesis of 1 million here. Now we close until this already. Now it's the part of the value if true of 500,000. For the value if false of 500,000, it's 2%. It's 2%, and then we close it. Now we just close until this one already. The next one is that we try to close this one. We try to close this for 250,000. Now we get value if true of 250,000 already. For value if false is 1%, 1%, close parenthesis. Now we can close up to this part already. The next one, we close the last one, com rate is 0%. And then we close parenthesis. Now we close all the parentheses of this one already. Okay. So for this one, what are we going to do next? I copy this one for you to the chat box, just in case you may just like want to copy it and use it next on. This is the one that I just like gave it to you. Okay, so we can just like copy this one into Excel. Into the cell that we want to calculate in Excel straight away. Okay. So now let's see. I go back to my Excel part, and then I just double click and then just paste this calculation in. Just paste this calculation in. You may just like put them in different line like this, or you may just put all of them in the same line.
Are you stop sharing?
Oh, really? Okay, this one. Okay.
Thank you.
This one you may just like the one I did is this. I just like double click on the cell and then I paste this function that I just type in Notepad or I just type in PowerPoint to you. The PowerPoint that I created, I just like upload it on e-learning so that you can just like study about it later on. Okay, so in here you can see that before you press enter, you have to check number of parentheses, left parentheses and right parentheses, and it's matched colors. For example, in here, the first parenthesis in this example is in black color, left parenthesis here. That means I need to have the right black parenthesis as well, and it's here. So that means if I just see the black parenthesis in here, the true part of the black parenthesis is here. So this is logical test 1, the whole thing, and value if true, hang on, is here. This is value if true of the black parenthesis. Value if true of the black parenthesis, and the value if false is 0%. That means it's in here. It's in here. Sorry, it's in here. This is the 0%. It's in here. And the rest of them, in here. When you compare with the when you compare with the flow chart, it's here. From the second checking until the last one, it's in my highlighted one. The next pair is red, is red. So that means I need to have the matching red pair, right? Parenthesis is here too. So that means 1% is the false part for the next one, this one. Okay. After that, the third parenthesis is purple is here. So the false part of the purple parenthesis is 2%. That is here. Next, the next parenthesis is green, is green. The right green parenthesis is here. That means the false part of green parenthesis is 2.5%. It's here, 2.5%. You check like this until we finish, and then you press enter. Now, it seems like the first one, James, received 0.025. That means 2.5%. And then we just like copy to the formula down there. I change to be percentage first, and then I'll explain to you next. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. Should be 2 decimal points. 2 decimal points. Okay. In here, you can see that James, Andy, received the same commission. Why is that? Now, we have to test. The step of testing the flow chart, we call it as run through. The flow chart run through. You just like use the value that you would like to test to go to the flow chart and test to find out the value that flow chart will give you the output. In this case, you can see that for James, he received $1 million sales amount. Then we just test $1 million with this flow chart. You can see that 1 million, when you compare with the first comparison, sales amount is greater than or equals to 1. 1 million is greater than or equals to 1. Yes, we go to check on the second range. 1 million is greater than 250,000. Yes. 1 million is greater than 500,000. Yes. 1 million is not greater than 1 million because it's equals. Then that means it's not greater than 1 million. Then it goes to no. Commission rate is 2.5%. Yeah. James received 2.5%. That's correct. Next, Andy. Andy get 999,999. So we go to check the same thing. And we found that for Andy, 999,999 is not greater than 1 million. Then it falls to 2.5%. Yeah, Andy get 2.5%. Now, what about Cindy? Cindy received 500,000. 500,000 is greater than 1. Greater than or equals to 1. 500,000 is greater than 250,000. Yes. But 500,000 is not greater than 500,000. So it's no. Then the commission rate should be 2%. Yeah. Cindy received 2%. While Amy, $1,001,000. We check and check until we reach this part. Sales amount 1,001,000 is greater than 1 million. Yes. We check again. 1,001,000 is greater than 2 million. No. Then com rate is 2.75%. Yeah, she got 2.75%. And for Brad have $2.5 million sales amount. Then we go down checking. 2.5 million is greater than 2 million. Yes. But 2 million is not greater than 5 million. Then it goes to no. Commission rate of this person should be 3%. And then you can see that Brad commission rate is 3%. That's correct. So this is the way to do the nested if. This is the way to do the nested if. So in this one, you can see that we have a couple of tools that may help in case that we have so many conditions to be tested. Actually, in the exam we may have like 3 up to 4 different levels at most, but this one I just like want you to show like the real world when they have to use the if function for the nested if to calculate on something. They do like thisนะครับ. Normally there should be like around like 5 to 6 different levels that is matched with what I show you on this example on PowerPoint. You can see that we the tools that we should use but I mean like when you just like do it fluently, you don't need to use flowchart. But I mean like if you just like begin with Microsoft Excel, flowchart would help you a lotนะครับ. And for comparison, if you compare the numbers or currency, number line in here would help you as well to judge for different rate, because how number line help, because you it helps you in order to judge for the symbol here greater than or equals to or greater than something like that, because in here it means the black dot and the white dot, it shows include and exclude that valueนะครับ. And it shows just like different rate and the connectivity among different ratesนะครับ. That helps you in order to prepare the flowchart like this. Okayนะครับ. So this is the nested if that you have to knowนะครับ. Up to this point, do you have any questions? I know that it might be too soon to ask you like thisนะครับ. So for this example of nested if, I will upload this flowchartนะครับ, and what to say, yeah, the flowchart to you on e-learning, so that you can just like read it and understand it during the day before we meet each other again. And if you have any questionsนะครับ, feel free to ask me on line groupนะครับ, for like the things that you say that you don't understand about this, or which part, when I mean like my suggestion is thatนะครับ, when you just like have time, you just go to see this exampleนะครับ, you go to see this example, and then you just try to practice on creating the if function, the nested if by yourselfนะครับ, in order to calculate the commission rate for each person, and then compare with my one, whether it's correct or whether it's the same or not. Somebody may practiceนะครับ, may just like practice from the highest amount down to the lower one. For example, somebody may say that they start their flow chart from 5 million and above first, and go down to 2 million and 1, go down to 1 million, go down to 500,000, 250,000, and go down to 1, something like that, instead of increasing like this from 1 to 250,000 to 500,000 and so on, something like that. You may practice about this one. So I have like some questions on what to say, the chat boxนะครับ. For requesting to be in the line group, I will send you the linkนะครับ, in the chat boxนะครับ, just won't be long. And for the answer of exercise 1 นะครับ, in e-learning, answer of exercise 1, I can tell you that exercise 1, 2, and 3 will be your extra pointนะครับ, will be your extra point. I will assign to you, let's see, I will assign the due date for you on the next class. So when it is the extra point, I don't give you the answer right nowนะครับ. I will just like let the due date of the extra point submission is dueนะครับ, and after that I will post the answerนะครับ, into e-learning for youนะครับ. Okay, so now I just like send the link for line group for anyone who haven't joined our line group yet, so that you can just like be in the line, be in our line groupนะครับ, just won't be long. Okay thenนะครับ, I'll stop the class at this pointนะครับ, and then we'll see each other again on next Mondayนะครับ